Hello, hello. Sorry, I'm a dork. Okay, look, let me just us moment here, okay? Just an us moment, real quick here, okay? I have not done a recording like this way in a long time. I do apologize for that. But I figured for this, and for how much it's kind of been annoying the hell out of me, I'm just gonna do it anyways. So, meet my character. Okay, meet my character. This is not my favorite character I've ever made. This is not even the one that went the farthest, or was the best. This one's just for me trying to speed through to get the platinum for PS4. So, they're two boys Uchi katanas. They are basically, by the end of the game, they're supposed to have basically maxed out figure, maxed out dex, and maxed out arcane. Right now they're just sticking around with low weight gear. It just works up there that way. I will be stuck with the Mimic tier for a while, even though Mimic tier has a tendency of spending, I want to almost say, the first hour of every fight just putting the weapon away repeatedly. Hopefully that's something that gets fixed eventually, but for now the only way to keep him from doing that seems to be attaching two separate weapons instead of just, say, my favorite weapon, which is the I don't think I have it on this file, but anyways, the Venom Fangs. Do what you have with what you have, though, so yeah. So, here's the thing. I'm going to tell you right now. I'm going to tell you right now, weapons that are strength-based, like, for example, this big bastard, I'm going to tell you right now, if you do not meet very specific requirements, this weapon is trash garbage. Very useless. And I'm not even talking about attributes yet. Now, I have, let me see, I think 3 tiers, or larvals. Okay, wow, more than I thought even. I have 7 of these bastards. Wow, that's surprising. So yeah, we're just going to speed through this. I don't want to waste any more of my time than absolutely necessary. So I'm just not even going to... Okay, we'll keep this stat high enough so that this way we're not like freaking Fat Man rolling already. But we're just going to dump the dex and just unload into strength. So... we will just absolutely go ham on it. Alright. Now, if you're stupid, you think, oh, this is a great thing. This is really good. But you're stupid. You need help. Like, no. This stat setup that I've got going here is solely so I can showcase you the weapon, not so we can actually be effective, to be fair. Now, I could try and do a for effectiveness setup in a bit, but right now, this will just work for what we need. I want to showcase to you what is so wrong with strength-based weapons in this game. Okay? No. No. Okay. So, now we no longer really... we can still use these, but dear lord, is it, like, not worth doing now? But we're going to go over here. Now... here's the thing. This weapon, right here, is toxically slow. So slow. So, basic swing, one-handed. That's two-handed. Here's the power. Hold down, that. Tap, that. One-handed, tap, and then hold. Here's the thing. Every single opponent you're going to fight in this game for bosses are fast. None of them are going to sit still long enough for you to really have much of a shot, okay? They are going to move fast, okay? This move is, like, fine. But in order to utilize this move and use it this fast, you have to be at minimum of a medium load. Well, let's ditch the helmet so I can have a light load. It's a lot faster, right? Here's the problem. That's still too much of a windup for many of the bosses. Not all, but many. And you gotta remember is that tons of people, they're not pairing this with a light setup. They're freaking heavy armor the whole way through. And there's the big problem. When you utilize a heavy and slow weapon, and you use heavy armor, then there are certain things you need to do in order to make this weapon work. And I'm going to tell you right now, I can quite genuinely count on a single hand with half of my digits missing. I can count the number of people who have actually used this thing properly. Used slow weapons properly. I wish I was joking. I am not. I've lost count of how many times I've seen people two-handing this weapon, and the only Ash of War they're attaching to it is Warcry. Here's the thing. While two-handing it will give you far higher damage, it will give you so much damage. This weapon will be great. The problem is, though, is that these people are wearing heavy armor, carrying around a hammer, and Fat Man rolling. With the only Ash of War they have on, only other thing on them really is that Ash of War, and that's about it. I have lost count of how many times I have seen people two-handing Warcry, no shield, no crossbow, no magic, nothing. Just that and Warcry. And you know what's the worst part about it? I can quite genuinely tell you right now that every single one of them who have done that setup over and over again did not know the boss patterns either. You see, that's kind of the big problem, is for slow weapons, to make them work, you have to do at least one of these things. Does it matter which one you do? No. Any one of them are a great way to take a slow weapon and make it viable, make it useful, make it productive, make it so that you're not worthless in every single fight. Make it so you're actually able to do anything. The thing is that slow weapons need you to meet one of these criteria. It doesn't matter which one, just one of them needs to be met. One of those is having the entirety of the patterns and movesets of all the bosses memorized. That's a great way to take this weapon from being something that is pretty worthless to something useful, because it'll do great damage when it hits. But the problem is if you don't know their attack patterns, you don't know their movesets, you're not going to be hitting them sometime this decade. Psst, nah. You ain't going to do nothing aside from look stupid. And that's it. That's all you do. But here's some other methods. In case you're someone who's like, King, memorizing every single pattern and every single moveset just ain't my thing, though. That's fine. There are multiple other ways you can fix this exact same problem. There really is. One such way is having a shield, which will allow you to tank bigger hits. It'll allow you to tank the bigger hits, allowing you to kind of try and either aggro people through their Ash Wars, or by just like having everyone wait a couple moments so you can get in the faces and start aggroing. Tanking those hits would also be a great way to contribute, and a great way to accentuate what this overall weapon's flaw is. It's slow. Well, okay. Great way to fix that is by being super tanky to compensate for being slow. Here's another method. If you're not even caring about it, you're like, I don't really want survivability though, King. I want to be dishing out pain. Dishing out pain. Well then, I have a great recommendation for you. Simple. Apply magic, lightning, or holy to the weapon, allowing you to basically amp up and borderline double your damage output, just like that. No, really. If you apply the right Ash of War and you have the right whetstone, you could basically make it so that the freaking hammer at this current setup right now, which is a 206 and with a plus 239, you could double that pretty easily. All you'd have to do is just drop some endurance, go for light armor, and then increase your overall total of intel, so that this way it's on par with your strength. Guess what? You're going to be doubling this damage output. You're going to be doing at a baseline attack power of about 600 to 700 right then and there, just from that. You still haven't passed it to past plus 12. You haven't done anything else. You just changed what you applied. Small little tweaking. Boom. Everyone shall not die. Bleh. Quite genuinely, that's how it really does work. Really. And that's not even it. There's another method you could employ that would also allow you to do some damage, allow for you to aggro the opponents better, get them going after you so this way you can set up to smack them in the head with the hammer. Crossbows or ranged weapons. Having a crossbow or throwing daggers, even if it's the really weak single-handed crossbow, even if it's that, that's still something priceless because you're going to be able to aggro people still, and you'll be able to keep that hammer at the ready for when you do have their attention and when you can start beating them over the head with it. Quite the attention grabber, I know. And the cool thing about this is you didn't have to change your stat growth really much at all. All you had to do was grind till you get item, use item. That's it. So you might be thinking, okay, well, the problem is, King, is I want DPS, but I also want some more survivability. Don't you worry. King got you. King got you, fam. Don't worry. Here's a great one. It isn't the best Ash of War, but I'm going to tell you right now, when it comes to just pound for pound usefulness, I struggle to find anything on par with it when it comes just to, in general, usefulness. Bloodhound's Quick Step. What Bloodhound Step does is it basically gives you a really good version of a Quick Step move, which allows you to dodge attacks. However, this dodge comes with a couple of frames of invincibility and invisibility. You cannot be harmed. No, really. Like, honestly, this thing has, especially like for Malekith and his dancing blade bullshit, this freaking thing is a lifesaver. Okay? Like, it goes, especially as you get later and later game, where the opponents are getting faster and using more AoEs. This thing is priceless. Having those couple frames of invulnerability allows you to really dodge their attack far more effectively than the dodge roll or just the quick step. Plus, on top of that, if you have the necessary whetstone, you can apply whatever type of buff you want, whether that's bleeding, poisoning, holy, fire, magic, altering your scaling, so on and so on. That's really bloody useful, okay? That is absurdly helpful. And on top of that, even if you have a heavy character, having this Bloodhound Quickstep will allow you to far better dodge things than you ever will be able to with medium or heavy. It's just a far superior way to dodge things. And its overall cost for FP is only a 5. You heard me right. 5. Only. Ignore the PlayStation notifications. It's mental. It is absolutely unhinged. Just how useful this Ash of War is. Just how much it can enhance your survivability, your damage output. Just applying this alone will ensure that you are not getting hit as often as you normally do. Unless you're playing it like I do, which is like chaotic McNumbnuts here. If you play it like I do, then it's only as useful as you make it. But it is something I do advise. Is any one of those methods I just listed to you is a great way to take a slow weapon and make it viable. It really is. And it doesn't even matter if we're talking some of the colossal weapons. Even those are the same issue. The few exceptions to this that exist are weapons that you cannot apply Ash of War to. And even then, that exception does not last long. All you need to do is have a shield. Have a shield, and you pretty much have circumvented the whole thing. Have a tiny dagger or whatever have you. As long as whatever you have in that other hand is anything that can have a slot attached to it, you've basically even taken some of the colossal weapons and made them more viable too. Even with Bloodhound's Quickstep, especially so. Like, honestly, I'm not going to tell you it's the best of the Ash of Wars. I haven't used enough of them yet. I am still experimenting all the damn time. I still have more to experiment with. But honestly and genuinely speaking, this is a far better setup when you have something to compensate for how slow it is. Especially if you're going to have heavy or medium armor. If you're going to be at the heavy or medium load, you especially then need something to heighten your survivability, make it so you can attack from a distance, or something that allows you to both have higher survivability and increase your overall damage by a heavy amount. Those are all ways you can fix that problem so easily. And I'm hoping that especially the people who have an idiotic tendency of two-handing this thing, being hugely overweight and having war cry for their Ash of War, I hope that they see this and they realize, oh, there are better methods that basically allow me to actually be effective with this thing and not be worse than a decoration. And believe me, I've had that happen so many times where I see a brick hammer, I get hopeful that maybe it's one of those few people who have brain cells, who understand that this is a slow weapon. You have to find a way to compensate for that, because no boss in this game is slow. They are all on par with you or faster than you all the time. Even when you go with a dex focus weapon like myself, like even if I go with the example of my favorite weapon, the venomous fangs, even if I go with that as my example, those are still slow enough to the point where it's sometimes hard to get more than just 1 or 2 hits in at times. Especially like Malekith, who's bouncing all over the freaking place and damn near flying. Yeah, even that douche. Even for that, and it is one of the fastest weapons from my knowledge. I think there's something faster than it, but I can't remember what it's called anymore. But that's the thing. If you're going to use this, you have to compensate somehow. How you go about compensating it, that's entirely up to you and your preference for play. In my case, I will pretty much always apply something, especially something like this. I am always applying Bloodhound Step. I am always making sure that if I do apply Bloodhound Step, I'm looking at what my build is set up for. Is it set up for magic as well as strength? If it's not set up for something and strength, probably don't use it then. I personally prefer leaning towards weapons like the katanas or the daggers, long swords, straight swords, freaking spears. My favorite will always be the venomous fangs, especially once I attach cool to them, because then I can snap freeze, which is pretty fun to do, on top of poisoning, which is great. I think those are probably my favorite things to do. But if you're going to use big, slow weapons, please experiment, find what can compensate for how slow they are. Please don't do what others are doing, where they just slap on freaking Warcry to boost the damage, but the problem is that they're too slow to actually get a hit on. That's the big problem, is because they're pairing this big heavy weapon with heavy armor, they're too slow to get a hit off. Sure, Ash of War, Warcry is great when you can hit someone. The problem is this plus heavy armor means that unless your endurance is through the frickin' roof, you're not hitting, buddy. You're kind of worthless and not doing anything and not consistently putting out anything at any point. That's kind of the big problem to remember. Well, I did my thing. I talked. I yacked. I hopefully made it so maybe there's just at least a couple more people in the world who are going to actually be careful and set up stuff properly. Might be asking too much. Just maybe. But just so you are all giving a heads up, there's going to be the coming Thursday is not going to be any Digimon because there was a bit of a mix-up in schedule stuff. Tuesday there is going to be the lore video since it wasn't able to be this Thursday. On top of all of that, I now must fix my stats because you know what? I was thinking about just ending it there, but I have a slightly different idea. So what I'm actually going to do instead is I am going to switch over to a different game instead. Figured I might as well make it all worth your whiles and shite. Figured that's only fair. Might as well make that shit nice and good like. Yeah. And I can already feel my own insanity slipping already. Wunderbar. Yeah, so figured I might as well go jump into a game that I am very much an addict for, to a very violent and extreme case. Anyone who knows me knows how much I've played this and how much it's gotten up there. I don't think I'll play for too terribly long. I think I'll probably play just enough to get us to a nice, maybe 35-40 minutes roughly. It won't get very far. I just figured it might be a nice thing since it's been so long since I've done this. People might appreciate that. Or people will question what's wrong with my sanity, but I mean, that's normal. Cool. Before anyone asks, no, I will not play Tactician mode. I tried to play it. These two modes are just these modes are not ever fun. Don't do them, and they're not worth it. They're very much opposite of what this game is about. Just don't. These two modes are great depending on your skill level. If you're someone who is completely brand new to D&D, like a girl, this is what you want. If you're someone like me who has a good bit of experience, this is what you want, right? Now, I'm too lazy, though, so I'm going to put on the low end. I am very lazy. Professionally lazy. Will I skip cutscenes? I think probably just because of how the time limit I've put on myself here. So I am going to speed through, especially since I refuse to cheap out on character creator. I actively refuse. yeah. Even though I've literally done pretty much every single ending, almost every single romance, and pretty much done almost every single thing. Yeah, this game's already, I think I'm already put, I'm almost 1,000 already hours total in. That's how much I've played this since it released. There have been other games that have forced me to walk away for a little while, but every single time I always come back. Let's see. What kind of comical shenanigan McCrackhead shit do we want to pull out? I know. I'll basically make what was my first character in this game. Obviously, I'm going to make them far better than I did originally, because they suck. Oh my god. So yeah, let's see. How extensive do I want to go? So let's see. No, I think I'll do one of my favorite combos, yeah. I kind of feel like I gotta. Oh. No. I won't be able to make her backstory about how she was like a friggin' demigod. But I feel like I kind of have got to go with the closest I could get to one of my D&D characters I made once. It's kind of an interesting combo. It's like I won't be able to do the exact setup here, unfortunately, because this is on a PlayStation. Yes, that PlayStation, the Lord of Dumbasses. Yes, yes. Okay, so let's start with that. I don't advise doing this, by the way. I really don't advise what I'm about to do here. It's more difficult than it's worth. Please don't do it. It just isn't. Please. Unfortunately, these backstory things, turns out, Demigod had to survive via theft and murder. Turns out a character who works for assassins. Turns out that's hard to make. Okay. Now the last point, I don't remember where I normally put it. I think I put it actually. There we go. And that's roughly where it was. That seems about right. Acrobatics. I think I preferred this part about Urgent D&D more. If I wanted to, I could put stuff in other places. Skip the. I'm basically making an altered version of it. Maybe sometime I'll like actually live stream this. I'm not sure. I'm gonna try and make Mila. That's gonna be a little hard because she originally had a Russian accent. Yeah. Unfortunately, while Mila was technically scarred up, her scarring wasn't quite that extent. That might be as close as I'll ever get. Like, this will not be able to be exact, no matter what I do. But let's see how close I can actually get it. Probably won't be able to get it very. Let's be real. That's still not exactly great. That's as close as I'll get. Alright, everybody, they're gonna be titties. Hold on. Nope. Sure. There you go. I said, I don't skip no character career. You give me a character career, I'm going all in, I'm going all in. There's not an alternative. Let's see. Tattoo styling. I'm kind of glad I pivoted to doing this instead of making my first character. Because my first character was so messed up. Like, that dude needed help. He needed so much help. More than I think I could provide. Especially not in a short window like this one. I still feel so bad for that poor tiefling character I made. The only thing good about him was his horns, and that was more or less it. Probably going super basic with it now that I think about it, but oh well. Check. I am lazy bastardos. Trick for darkening the hair. I wish the black was actually black, but oh well. That was a little. Yeah, well, it's about as good as it's gonna get, unfortunately. Cool. Rename. I am lazy AF, so we're just gonna call her Tara. The power of lazy. Yay. Okay. Let's see. Not gonna lie, I kind of wish there were more. Like, I know why Larry's not doing more, but still can't help but kind of wish there was a little more. Like, I would love to be able to do like freaking half tiefling, half dwarf, since those are technically like my two favorite races to play as on average. Like, I would love that if there was a way to actually have combined races back. Like, that would be great. Let's go with sure tiefling. Sure, let's go. Let's see. Let's go with sure. Kind of lean towards that. Let's see. No, I'll go with that one. We'll leave that red. I don't think there's any. Nah, no. Stay with red. Eye color. Let's go with that. Yeah, let's just go. Very decisive. You know what? No, I have a better idea. I know I like the look of this one a little more, so let's just go with that. It's not technically the right one, but oh well. There. Ooh, wait. I just thought something like that might be kind of looking. Let's see. Sure, let's just go with that. It's creepier. Like I said, I don't skip tutorials. I mean, I don't skip. I don't skip character creation, man. I don't go light on that crap. I refuse to go light on that. I go hard. Like, I love making characters, man. Like, there's just no better way to put it. No, I'm lazy. Let's just go with that senior color. And boom. Burp. Oh, I should give her my favorite horns. Yeah. I should totally do that. Horns. Did I pass it? I passed it, knowing me. Horns. Oh, do I not get to choose horns? Facial hair color, highlights, grade. Okay, phew! That would have been bummed. Oh, the worst part is I was actually wanting to make these exact horns that I couldn't find any to purchase at all, which was such a freaking bummer. But things fell through, which, you know, happens. It's just the way it be sometimes. Let's see which green do I like. First time I did this, I had like, I think like either gray warm or just, I think it was probably just outright white. Yeah. I love this look, man. Like, to me, that's totally my bag. But I just realized that that technically isn't like my character, to be fair. So it doesn't make a lot of sense if we be real. Yeah, that's a little more fitting. Okay. And that is all. One Guardian. Shrek. And I'm sorry, but I couldn't resist this joke. You don't see nothing wrong with a little bump and grind. I should probably show myself out after that joke, huh? I'm gonna skip cutscenes, it says, but I'm just gonna skip because we're gonna save here. Like I said, if there's someone out there who would love to see me like try and stream this, just simply let me know in the comments, and I'll see what I can do for the scheduling of schedulers of stuff. And, you know. Yeah, as closest to Mila as I will probably ever get. Like, I still feel bad about the character. I really should have done better. But yeah, there she is. No longer the demigod of war, bears, and orcs. Now instead, a half-orc in Baldur's Gate 3. I can't wait for mods for this someday, man. I really can. They're desperately needed. Especially since a lot of the classes that I wish I could play as are gonna have to be through mods. Nice lot of stats at the start. 26. Nice. Nope, nope, not over the Gale one. Ooh, that would suck. I'd hate to have started that one over because it was not fun. And there's one Tara file. Which for some reason isn't a joke. Well, I hope you managed to learn some stuff, laugh at me, laugh with me, get some entertainment out of all this. Hopefully I will see you guys soon for Digimon lore video and then Digimon event in basically 2 Thursdays, roughly. So yeah, I will see y'all when I see us. See ya.